All right, let's call this episode 1. New channel, guys. We're gonna be upgrading from RC cars to real cars now. And we're starting off with a Passat. Just got this thing, has a few issues, so let's walk through them. Let's see if this thing actually starts first. No, it turned over and the engine started, but it shut right back off. So let's try this one more time. Yeah, no. Well, let's take a look under the hood. So, first thing when I got the car, I had a fault code for an EVAP sensor. Swapped that out right here. Loosened up these 2 clamps here, unplugged it, and swapped out the device. It fits in there perfect. And fault code went away. Now my engine's not starting. And the one thing that it's pointing to, I believe, is going to be a crankshaft position sensor. And it should be, you see that oil can right there, that blue one, right behind it. All right, let me get the camera back there. Let's see. Should be right back here. So I could be able to see it a little bit easier. I'm going to remove this and this here. With your Phillips screwdriver, I took out these 3 screws right here. And now you can kind of lift this out of the way. Make sure to unplug that thing. So I definitely do see the sensor back there. But now I'm trying to follow the wire all the way up to the top and see where the plug is at. Should be one of these. I fished that wire, followed it all the way down to this plug here, the gray one. This plug right here looks like it's in this orientation right here. So I just got to free up that clip on the left. Should come right out. All right, made it a little easier to see. Now, got that plug taken out right here. Just remove that bottom half from the top. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Boom, there you go. Let's remove the other side now, and I believe that's gonna be with the 10mm. It's gonna be in this orientation too, so bolt's gonna be on top, sensor goes on the inside. Use the 10mm socket, then the ratcheting wrench to break it free, and this is what your bolt looks like. It's just gonna be finger tight afterwards. You can use an Allen key on the inside, but I just used the 10mm. The sensor is going to be a little bit too stuck in there for you to pull it out with your hands. So get a set of pliers, yank that thing out. Boom, got the sensor out. So I'm going to follow this wire, probably give it a snip somewhere. And it's unplugged from both ends. So let's just take it out. Old sensor, done. All right, grab your new one. Let's put it in the right orientation. Let's put it in the right spot. A little trick that I did to make it easier is I actually put the bolt inside the sensor, then tried putting the sensor in there. It's going to be a little hard to thread it in there when you can't really see what's going on. And once that's in, just route your wire, get a few zip ties and, put it out of the way. Plug in your gray one and see if it starts. Moment of truth. See if this thing actually worked. Dang. I guess that wasn't the problem. Give it a little bit of gas to try and see if I can get it the revs to stay up. Yeah, went up to 2000 RPM, but yeah, it's not gonna work. What I did think is it could be that fuel pump relay that's back there. I highly doubt that that's the issue until I did this. Put the key in and look at that, guys. We have a flashing light right here. Looked it up. That's the immobilizer for this car. Yeah, so this has a safety feature that's not letting us turn it on. I don't think it recognizes the key. So let's see how we can bypass that. The immobilizer is a safety feature that prevents theft. And I think it helps with emissions too. In some cases, it's illegal to mess with. So unfortunately, we have to call a professional. It's someone that knows how to program these things. So you need a little device kind of like this thing here. Put the chip inside. Yeah, I didn't think my keys had chips in them, but apparently they have these things. Yeah, tiny. These were the bad ones. Boom, and just like that, the car works. That was nice. There was another method, kind of sketchy, where you get a wire and bridge some 2 ports together. I just don't want to mess with the wiring on this car. The other one would be locking and unlocking the car with your key fob. Well, we don't have that. We got the car running and working well. But there's one more thing I noticed. This thing right here. This is the check valve, and it needs to be replaced because it's held up with duct tape, guys. And we can just replace the valve if we wanted to. I mean, why don't we just replace the whole system? I see a bunch of hoses without clamps. Let's just swap it out. In with the new. Might as well switch out these clamps too. These are the single use, so Let's remove these and put on these. Yeah, a lot nicer. Now I feel like we have a reliable car. We swapped out a bunch of parts and the thing's running great now. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. I'd call this done. Wait, what's that sound? The thing's running great. And I'm gonna call this episode 1. Next week, we're gonna do an oil change and the spark plugs. So stick around for that. Till then, guys, see ya.